In surfing, this is known as the proving grounds, the iconic and deadly waves of the North Shore of Oahu known as the Bonsai Pipeline, home to perfect barrels and serious wipeouts. Who, though, is gonna conquer this notorious wave and prove themselves worthy of being the next champion? This is the 2019 Volcom Pipe Pro, and you are watching the Red Bull Signature Series.
You got a little, you can use much more.
Mahalo for 10 years at the Volcom Pipe Pro. And always remember, stay pono and live aloha. All right.
Aloha, everybody. Sal Masekela here, your host of the Red Bull Signature Series, and allow me to welcome you to one of my favorite places, the North Shore of Oahu, Hawaii. Now, this island paradise is the mecca of surfing and the Volcom Pipe Pro, where for nearly a decade, it has given both local surfers and pro tour surfers a chance to test their skills and bravado at the highest level at this iconic wave, the Bonsai Pipeline, or as it's simply known, Pipe. Now, the danger level here immensely high, but the reward, a perfect tube ride unlike any on the planet. If you win here, you put your name on the entire global map of surfing. Past world champions like the GOAT, Kelly Slater's won here, John Florence has won here, and Mr. Pipeline, Jamie O'Brien, who was raised literally right at the front door of this beach. Now, for the young up-and-comers, it can set your career trajectory upward. Ask guys like Soli Bailey and local Josh Moniz, who have added their names to this illustrious list. 4 days of surfing, 144 competitors, 8 rounds to whittle it down to one champion who's gonna take home the coveted Warriors helmet. For more, we're going to check in with Tina Dixon, who is standing in the primetime viewing area at the iconic Volcom House.
Yeah, and Sal, if this house could tell me stories, oh, I'm sure it's got some good ones. But let's go back to that 10-year mark, because that is something to really be celebrated. And it got me thinking about, well, where was I 10 years ago? What was I doing? But if you were a professional surfer trying to get on that world tour, you were here competing at the Volcom Pipe Pro. And there's been some very significant moments that have happened during that time. In those early years, we were introduced to a young surfer by the name of John Florence, who then went on to be a 2-time world champion. He still competes at this event. We also saw veterans like Kelly Slater win his first contest in 2 years here at Pipeline at the Volcom Pipe Pro. So some very special moments, a lot of history within a short span of time. Even Instagram is celebrating that 10 years with the 10-year challenge. And Sal, I saw your post, but my question to you is, how has your surfing evolved throughout the 10 years?
Well, Tina, in the last 10 years, I can say that it's a lot harder for me to go on big waves, and I'm a lot slower than I used to be, but I'm still having all of the fun. But the real 10 on everyone's mind is that ultimate 10, the perfect tube ride that you can get at Pipeline and Backdoor. And every year, the ocean has obliged a lucky few with those perfect, memorable 10s.
When it's big like this, whoa!
Jamie O'Brien, our first perfect 10 at the Volcom Pipeline Pro. Here is Ian Walsh getting a huge wave.
Look at that.
Keep your eyes on the horizon.
There's the paddle battle, and it's
Got a
John
battle.
Florence looking for a 10.
On his backhand, right here, it's coming out. John Florence.
Goodness.
Marcus Hickman, bit wide of
Wow.
this one. Is he racing? Running and gunning.
Upping.
Oh!
My goodness.
Yeah.
But right now,
Wow, look at this thing.
speaking
Oh,
of
boy.
Kelly Slater, late drop, pulls it up. He's coming out.
Oh, boy. That was insane.
And gentlemen, okay, that's why the boards he rides are so short.
Yep.
Now starting things off, it is Kelly roller coastering in the tube, covering some big ground. It's staying wide open, and Kelly looks back at the wave he loves the most.
Speaking of waves, look at this huge thing.
Oh, this is crazy.
Mackay McNamara on fire.
way more contestable. So just a tamer version of yesterday. And here we go, Makua up and riding. Sick barrel when he comes out, boys. That is looking like a 10 right there.
Always in charge, Jamie O'Brien.
Late drop into the pit. Again, and stays in. Jamie O'Brien with a double tube ride and stands up, hands over his head. Crowd goes wild.
There are many ways to earn a legendary 10 at Pipeline, but the path to Pipeline is legendary in itself.
So this right here, this is the beach path that takes you out to Pipeline, and it is surrounded by some pretty talented surfers. To the right of me, that's Jamie O'Brien's house. Not too shabby. If you go farther down that way, you've got two-time world champion John Florence. Kelly Slater's house is that direction. You've got the two Volcom houses here, so a lot of legends here on the North Shore, but we have our own personal legend, someone who's active in the community, a staple here at the Volcom Pipe Pro, Kaipo Guerrero. Hey, Kaipo, what's going on?
Thank you, Tina. 10 years of the proving ground here at the Volcom Pipe Pro, and an important contest, especially for the local contingency. Bragging rights are on the line here. You take a victory at Pipeline, and that's bragging rights for an entire lifetime. This is the absolute jewel of the 7-mile miracle, the Pipeline.
Thank you, Kaipo. The North Shore really is a wonder of the world. 7 miles of paradise for both surfers and spectators alike. And day one of the Volcom Pipe Pro is where the local Hawaiians get their opportunity to prove that they really deserve to play a home game against the best surfers in the world. The judges, they're looking for commitment and degree of difficulty. If you can get a tube ride, the longer that you spend in the barrel, out of sight, the higher your opportunity at a score. And when the conditions change and there's less opportunity for a tube ride, then they'll be looking for big turns and aerial maneuvers.
The contest is on. The contest is on. The contest is on.
We're looking at 2 to 3 foot. Talking to the judges this morning, they're just saying, look, it's up to you. Our scale is wide open. They want to see the unexpected out here today.
Strategy would be to get an early start. Basically, the guys are going to have to manufacture scores.
Brody Sail from the island of Hawaii.
Working for it. Brody Sail's like, what, you thought nobody was going to get barreled today?
Be curious to see how the judges go about this. Pipeline's a barrel spot, but the fact that he didn't go straight into the barrel right off the drop, really had to drop down to the bottom, yank that e-brake, pull up for a little preferred parking in the pocket. And he did well, but we'll see where the judges go with this.
I'm just laughing at the preferred parking in the pocket. Brody Sail taking advantage of that priority right here on this nice little pockety right-hander, dancing through the wash. Misses that ender, but those first 2 turns, solid.
I think he needed close to a 6.
Young Eli Hanneman needs a 3.91. Wonder if he'll get the opportunity. Well, this is a critical minute left here at the proving grounds at Pipeline. Anything can happen, especially in these kind of conditions.
Eli Hanneman just drop a couple hammers. Straight up into the pocket once, twice, treat me nice.
Second turn was especially ripe.
Yeah, it was pretty tricky out there. There's waves all over the place. Not really a distinct lineup, so it's kind of just anywhere you can find a wave go, but yeah, I got lucky at the end. I got a wave. Stoked.
Each year there's something to prove at the Volcom Pipe Pro. And because we're dealing with Mother Nature, these surfers need to prove themselves in all conditions. Yes, there are perfect tube rides in the futures of those who have the ability to grind it out in these tough, small wave conditions. Big barrels and big wipeouts when we return to the Red Bull Signature Series. The Volcom Pipe Pro, part of the Red Bull Signature Series, is brought to you by Kia Motors America. Give it everything. By Yeti, built for the wild. And by Volcom, true to this.
Pipeline is a historic wave for surfers. This has been the proving ground for our sport for decades. Surfing Pipeline is still very scary for me and everyone else that surfs out here.
I've had a lot of bad experiences. I've had multiple broken legs. I've hit my head on the reef at Pipeline.
Tamayo Perry got scalped. Kalani Chapman had a near-death experience out here.
I was on the reef getting pounded, bouncing on the reef on my back, like boom, 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 boom. And then my board somehow came and compressed on me. That was scary. The board had me pinned to the reef and it was dragging me along the bottom. And I couldn't go anywhere until the whitewater released everything.
What makes Pipeline and Backdoor so intense is the amount of water that comes in, and when it jacks up on the reef and breaks, it's such a shallow part of the reef. It can be anywhere from waist deep to, a little over your head deep.
All the power of the wave is in the lip, and if you get hit by the lip in your head, it will send you directly to the reef. And when people ask me how deep the water is at Pipeline, I think, generally it's head high deep. But if that lip is piercing the water and splitting the difference, it's dry reef. And if you're right there at the wrong time, it's bad news, definitely.
The differences between a wave like Pipeline and a wave like Jaws would be, at Jaws, you're not so much having that fear of really slamming into the bottom as you would be at Pipeline. At Pipeline, it just feels like you're really gonna hit the bottom and you're gonna hit it very hard and very violently. The reality of being held under at Jaws is you're more worried about hitting your board and being held under for too long than your lungs can handle. And at Pipeline, I'm generally more worried about really slamming into the bottom and losing consciousness. That's my #1 fear.
A lot of surfers live for this wave. There's people that just focus their whole life on surfing Pipeline and Backdoor. They're okay with the risks and the consequences that come with here, and basically the only thing that's gonna stop them from surfing here is not being able to physically do it.
As you just saw, what lies beneath the reef is something very real here on the North Shore, and taking precautions as you push yourself on this wave, important. In the early rounds, we saw Koa Smith from Hawaii taking extra precautions in the form of a now trademark helmet for a reason.
It's an interesting thing. I actually hit my head on the reef really bad at Nios like 7 months ago and suffered a pretty intense concussion. It's my second major concussion. It's been a long road and really hard to recover from. I had to pull out of the Triple Crown and the pipe trials, which I qualified through this last year. And that was pretty hard for me. And then this contest was the light at the end of the tunnel. I was like, I'm okay with not doing these as long as I'm okay to do the pipe contest. So this whole winter, 2018, 2019, this was my second session at pipe. So I got the helmet on, I'm just ready for battle. And I felt good in that heat, It was kind of sketchy conditions, but I feel like where I grew up on Kauai, this is how the waves are. It's not perfect, it's all sketchy and windy. So I was just using my helmet and headbutting through lips, and it was working.
The Wolverine, Koa Smith, on to round number 4. He was relentless out there, tube seeking and tube finding.
You do have that little confidence boost of when you're falling, you're not doing karate chops around your head so your board doesn't hit you, you're safe in that regard. At first I was wearing it and everyone's looking at me why are you wearing a helmet, And it's kind of a weird thing, but I think in the end it's if you can do it, then why not? You're gonna be able to surf longer in your life.
The moral of the story, safety first. However, I see waves and they are stacked all the way to the horizon, my friends. Pipeline is ready to give us a show when we return to the Red Bull Signature Series.
The Volcom Pipe Pro. Let's go.
Welcome back to the Red Bull Signature Series presented by Kia for the Volcom Pipe Pro. Only 5 champions have proved themselves worthy of the mighty Warriors helmet, the newest being last year's champion, local Joshua Moniz. With his brother Seth making it onto the World Tour last year, 2018 was a massive year for the legendary Moniz family.
Josh Moniz needs an 8-6-1 to take over the lead. Don't look now. Josh Moniz answering back. Late drop, straight into the pit. Josh Moniz comes out clean. The beach is going wild. Josh Moniz drops an 8-7-3, and that means Joshua Moniz is your Volcom Pipe Pro champion.
When Josh won the Volcom Pipe Pro, my whole family and like lots of my friends were all down there, and like it was a really special moment and kind of emotional, like just watching everyone cheer him up. Pretty sure Josh did hear us from the water.
Winning last year at the Volcom Pipe Pro was crazy. It did a lot more to my confidence and my career, I think. Just because like when you go out to the lineup at Pipe, you see like any direction you look, you're seeing your heroes out in the water. So to be out there and battling with them is pretty intimidating. I think after winning that, it was just like a good stepping stone of just earning my spot in the lineup a bit more, for sure.
Yeah, Josh's big win last year was a huge booster for me too, because that kind of like got me psyched up to try and be up there on the leaderboard with him.
Seth and I, our whole life we got compared to each other. That's why growing out my hair longer.
People get me and Josh mixed up a lot. We surf pretty similar, I'd say. We kind of like both are equally level that turns, airs, barrels.
The last year it's been crazy. Like I felt like I qualified because so many people have been coming up to me like, yeah, Seth, congrats. I was like, sick. I'm just as excited to see my brother or my sister like accomplish something as if I did it.
He kind of started the momentum for, I'd say, both of us. And I think we just fire each other up.
Yeah, it's crazy competing against my brother.
It's pretty fun actually having him in the heat.
Hopefully when we get in heats, we both can make it. But if it's a man-to-man heat, then yeah, I hope I can beat him.
And we will see both brothers competing next in the round of 64. And if they make it through there, there's an actual chance that they could meet in a heat in the round of 32. But first, they're gonna have to navigate these ever-changing conditions. For more on that, we'll check in with Kaipo.
That's right, Sal. Pipeline, she has so many moods. First of all, swell direction. The more north in a swell, the more it's gonna favor the right set back door. The more west in the swell, the more you're gonna see pipeline lefts. The sand, constantly shifting out here. That's gonna change how much the channels available. It's gonna change how many waves have open endings or that shutdown clamping section. Also, swell period. The time between waves also will affect the shape of the wave and what direction it's gonna favor. And lastly, the wind. The wind swirls around here. When we get a north-northeast wind, it turns side onshore. It's gonna take away some of that barrel opportunity, but it will open up some maneuver opportunities, and the judges will adjust their criteria to suit that as the day changes. It changes hour to hour, and that's the Challenger pipeline, but that's why we keep on coming back for more and more of her haunting beauty.
Thank you, Kaipo. The many faces of Pipeline, truly the mystery to the magic. And these surfers heading into the water for the round of 64, they're gonna have all of this on their minds as they try to prove themselves worthy of moving on to this next round.
The camera makes this look a little bit smaller. You can look, it's 5 feet over that kid's head. I mean, that is a very solid wave, a very solid barrel, and that's a very solid turn on the end. Great way to start your campaign, and even better way to back it up.
Yeah, Joshua Moniz, right there. I mean, that is why he is one of the 5 Volcom Pipe Pro champs. He's just so good, especially at Pipeline and Backdoor. I mean, he just has this place on lock.
Yeah, that was fun. I was pretty nervous paddling out. In these conditions, you never know. Feels like getting a 3, feels like an 8 sometimes because it's just so hard to find them. But yeah, I just wanted to stay busy, and I surf it like this all the time because I live right in front of it at the Billabong house. So yeah, I felt comfortable just trying to find my waves.
Checking out this wave is Red Seth Moniz. Grabbing the rail, goes Pipeline, and he'll come out.
Nice finish move on the end. Action heating up. Brody Sail pulls in. Beautiful backdoor wave. Double section. He comes out standing tall.
This kid causing some big upsets.
Billy said that he had that thing that made you pay attention, and now he's showing the whole world that, hey, you need to pay attention.
That looks like a stationary wave. That doesn't even look like it's moving.
Here we go, Seth Moniz pulling in, grabbing rail, tucks in, stalling,
Whoa.
coming out clean.
And White up and riding at back door, grabbing the rail. He's coming out.
Oh.
Just no backup for Kyle Smith. And Benji again comes out and bang. This is how you finish wave, Tom Carroll style at Pipeline.
Seth Moniz gonna give it a late charge, pulling in straight in the barrel. That wave closes out, no exit there for Seth.
This has been a dominating performance. Big late drop. It was a huge wave too. Those ones that have the big wedge, they TP up, they get super tall. That was a 7.33, which was a pretty big score, considering that he was stalling most of the time for the barrel there. But I think the drop, that's where all the points were on that one.
Look at this. This is easy to talk about. Beautiful barrel for Jack Robinson. Probably has some Jack Johnson playing in his mind as he's feeling good. Double section. How's that?
Just keeping calm, trying not to complicate it. I was kind of nervous before paddling out. Haven't surfed the heat out here for a while, so I was like, all right, just keep it calm and try and get in rhythm.
How do you feel now?
Yeah, good, just calming down.
You're still calm?
Yeah, I hope so.
A very accomplished Soli Bailey, who's showing signs of potentially another title here at the Volcom Pipe Pro.
Didn't he just look in control right from the start? He was sort of managing the heat himself. He was like, I want to be on this wave. That turn there,
that was sick.
Literally ripped the lid off that thing.
Finn McGill, he had his hat in the ring for a sec, just couldn't get that backup score.
Yeah, a big turn there. Backed it up with it was a wobbly wave, not a great one. Samson Coulter finding a couple as well, but it was all about John Mel and Soli Bailey in this one.
Soli Bailey, we've been saying it's the Soli Bailey show in this heat number 13. It sure was. Look at this magician, Zach. Where'd he go? Over the falls. I got back on my board, and Soli Bailey rides out for a completion.
It was like a perfect barrel. I was riding along, enjoying kind of, you know, the vision of pipe and all that. And then it kind of just went all foamy, and I'm like, kind of going with the flow. It's almost like a rapid. I was just like bouncing around in there, and yeah, it was a good ride. I was a little unsure of where it would go with the score, like being like it's kind of sketchy come out and all that. But yeah, obviously they liked it, so I'm pretty psyched.
More from the beautiful North Shore of Oahu when we return to the Red Bull Signature Series. Welcome back to the Red Bull Signature Series presented by Kia for 10 years of the proving grounds with the Volcom Pipe Pro. No matter how well you think you know this wave called Pipeline, sometimes you can be in the wrong place at the right moment. But surfing pipe is not just about time spent on the wave. It can actually be about how you come back from an unexpected encounter with the reef. This takes a strong emotional support team, mental strength, and most importantly, belief in yourself.
It was just kind of a normal, 4 to 5 foot backdoor day, and to be honest, I have no memory of what happened.
That was really traumatic for all of us. I was at home and the phone rang and I could tell that something was really, really wrong. And of course, I was just beyond concerned.
It looked as if he got sucked over and went straight headfirst into the reef. Slammed his face, splitting his head open, his jaw, like the side of his face, and we almost lost him.
When I was in the hospital, I remember having to go to the bathroom, and I couldn't even walk to the bathroom. Like, I had to hold on to, my dad, and, I'd lay back down in the bed and just be like, man, I don't know if I'll ever, be able to do everyday things by myself again. I'd be lying if I'd say I was 100% positive I'd, be surfing again, period.
Being at such a high level where Dusty was, I mean, there's always, for sure, the question of, will I get back there?
You know, it was a long process of, you know, learning how to surf again. And, you know, still there's things that I'm working on and trying to improve on. And it's been a slow process, and just to be getting better each day and getting more comfortable, you know, surfing and doing certain things in the water. I wouldn't say I'm 100% yet, but I'm getting there, and really excited about this year and continuing to grow and get better.
It's great to see him back in the water, yeah. I would say he's back to Dusty again. You can see that his confidence is back.
At the end of the day, I still do have a ton of goals that I want to achieve, surfing and competing especially, and I'm really excited to, you know, getting after this year and, you know, starting off the competitive season here at Pipeline. If I can get back there on the World Championship Tour, you know, I love that. You know, that's the goal.
I, for one, believe that we can see Dusty back on tour, and everyone in and around Pipeline so happy to see him back on his board today and competing in the round of 64.
Look at this heat, Sal. 4 surfers entering the lineup. I mean, you've got absolute superstars in Ezekiel Lau and Dusty Payne. You've got Tomas Lopez Moreno coming from Argentina, making a big name for himself. And of course, ultimate dark horse threat, Kalani David, coming through into this heat. This is going to be a fun one to watch.
Welcome to Heat 16, round 4. What a day, huh?
Beautiful day on the North Shore. How lucky are we?
This is so good, and I know that you're excited, Kamanak, because Dusty Payne's back out here in a heat at Pipe. Something we've all wanted to see again.
It's just so awesome to see the outcome of his accident, you know. I mean, that was one of the scarier things that all of us ever dealt with, and for him to come back that fast and that strong and have him getting back on the horse is just insane.
It seems to be this generation is achieving so much in a shorter span of time relative to the historic names that you see here and the amount of progress that they're making from season to season.
Here goes Dusty. Come on, Dusty. Here we go.
Look at that.
Oh,
really nice little funnel.
Getting it started.
You saw what he did there? Sitting a little bit wider and taking those waves that people don't see because they're perhaps looking for something on that outside, turn and get that score.
I really like that wave. He sort of set it up off the bottom, got that little extended run, and those ones that run, you're not stalling, and judges really like that. If you're full speed and you're moving with the same pace of the wave instead of having to slow down for it, that tends to get a little bit more attention.
Just like that, Payne jumps up in the first place.
Zeke Lau pulling in, back door, coming out. Rips a big lip off the top.
There it is. Man, there's something about the CT polish, isn't there? These guys know how to bring 100% attack to every wave.
They do, and the CT guys are this crazy level that we all know about. It's so nuts, and it's a pleasure to watch.
Here goes green, Kalani David. Kalani pulls in, travels, and does squeeze out right there.
Look at Kalani David.
Whoa, yeah, that was cool.
Literally just sneaking through those 2 sections and coming out standing tall.
We talked to Dusty to get his perspective on what it means to be back in this event.
You always enter a contest to win. I never entered an event just to show up. I feel like I can compete and I can win this event if, you know, everything goes right, and just trying to do my best. And if I can do that, that's good enough for me.
Well, there you go. He's not saying I'm just happy to be here or any of that. Dusty's trying to pick up where he left off.
Look at this, flying, putting everything into making that and doing basically everything that he could do, but coming back, trying to stand up with all that whitewash bouncing around and your knees all twisted like that, that's tricky.
Well, how about for Dusty making his return to competition here at Pipe, getting to move forward. What a great confidence booster after such a crazy injury. And we will get to see Dusty surf again in the round of 32 when we return to the Red Bull Signature Series.
You don't got aloha, you gotta go, brah.
Welcome back to the Red Bull Signature Series presented by Kia for the Volcom Pipe Pro. The North Shore is pumping, and we are ready for the round of 32 to get underway. 2 past champions still in it, but they have some stiff competition as everyone is vying for that solid tube ride into the quarterfinals.
Round 5, and how about just right off the bat, Tyler Newton, your defending champion, Joshua Moniz, Aritz Aramburu, and Benji Brandt.
The level of commitment, everybody in this heat threw it all on the line.
That body language, you just cannot teach that. Josh Moniz saying, I would like to take my 2nd trophy in a row. I'd like to take it home.
Benji Brandt up and riding and trying to remain in the barrel. He does.
We still have 2 surfers in the field with a potential repeat. We've got Soli Bailey still left in competition, as well as Joshua Moniz, who's looking unstoppable right now.
Aritz Aramburu was saying, all I need is a miracle.
Look at the pump through the barrel. That section got so thick in the middle of that tube.
I just want to tell these guys thank you, not only for showing up and blowing up, but how about thank you to Pipeline, the real star of this show.
No morning sickness. Pipeline is feeling just fine.
And she just birthed a couple of gems to move on through to the quarterfinal.
I was looking at the draw last night, and I seen there's still a lot of good guys, and of course, like every year, and I know it's going to be hard work, but I feel like I could definitely compete with everyone still who's in the draw, and I really want to win again.
Look at this all-Hawaiian Heat 2, Tori Meister, Makai McNamara, Billy Kemper, Brody Sail. That young man, Brody Sail, we were just assuming he was like 17, 18, and he's like, no, 15, I'm gonna be 16 in 2 days.
I don't have my learner's permit yet, but I'm pretty good at driving through barrels.
Let's get Mr. Big Wave World Tour champion into the barrel.
Remember, Billy Kemper, he had to grind through from early rounds when it was 2 to 3 feet out here. Just watch Tori, because he will never hold back on any wave.
Tori Meister getting spit out of that barrel.
The waves are going off right now. It's way better than I expected this morning. And yeah, I'm actually just kind of beat. I got so pounded on that right. It's more dangerous when it's 4 feet. The first time I ever surfed Pipeline, I hit my face on the reef and my tooth went through my lip. And that was when I was like 8 years old, 9 years old, and it was on a 1 foot day. So we've had an interesting relationship, me and Pipeline. Had a lot of injuries out here, but they're all worth, a good one when you get it, for sure.
Tina, why don't you give us some context for what Tori is talking about?
So, when you're walking into the ocean, and it tends to be the farther you go out, the deeper the water gets. Well, that's not the case here at Pipeline. In fact, the reef is literally right there, and that's one of the reasons that make this wave so dangerous. In fact, where the guys drop into the wave, the reef's only about 3.5 feet underneath some water, and if they crash, it's a violent crash. They're protecting themselves, their head, trying not to hit that reef. But sometimes they do use the reef to push themselves off to get back to the top of the water to catch some breath. Now, you could be an amazing surfer, but you have to have knowledge not only of this wave, but the reef underneath, just for the safety of yourself and the others.
Thank you, Tina, for that insight. Let's get back to more surfing with Chris Cote.
Let's take a look back at round 5, heat 6. It was all about Jack Robinson getting the near perfect heat. Makuakai Rothman had a strong start, just couldn't get himself into position to back it up. Moving through from Maui, Cody Young threading the needle. Solid surfing there from Cody, but the Jack Robinson show started early and went late. A near perfect heat with a 10 and a 9.57.
Yeah, Jack set the bar in this heat. Every single left, right he caught, just really showing beautiful technique in the barrel and looking so at ease and at home here.
Wow.
Look at that. I mean, such good style too. I like to watch that front arm, how it's almost like his elbow is pinned to his hip. And that is an Irons Brothers influence for sure. You see the front arm low as he goes up into the turn. Jack Robinson getting down with the near perfect heat.
But this heat right here, Soli Bailey, Dusty Payne, Baron Mamiya, Mark Lacomer. Dusty Payne suffering an injury last year at Pipeline. Very, very scary one. Dusty P, is he gonna get the double?
Come on. Oh.
They were unsure that he would be able to surf again, and here he is fighting to make his way into the quarterfinals.
Pulls straight in, deep at back door. Oh, goes down inside the barrel. There goes Mamiya. Backdoor section, pulls through.
Look at that.
That thing's like a left barreling at him.
Wow. He would have to hold his breath again through that section.
I really like the clap claim. That's a really nice, humble no claim. Straight into it. Our 2017 Volcom Pipe Pro champion, Soli Bailey at Pipeline. That thing runs away from him.
All right, here's our heat leader trying to add to that total, pulling in on a bomb.
Whoa, that's a Yeti cooler vibes.
Wow.
I like how you called the Yeti cooler.
He wants to make that.
He does.
Straight up battle for second place as we see Soli Bailey.
Right now, Soli Bailey needs a score. Can he make it through this? He does.
Soli Bailey showing one of the many ways in which his ability qualified him for the tour because he knew exactly what he needed, took the opportunity, and got it. Heat 8, Big John Mel, Skip McCullough, Kieran Jabor, Kalani David.
Here we go, John Mel threading the needle. Pipe coming out, yeah. A good, solid first wave score here in heat number 8.
All right, here we go, Kalani David. Nice barrel at back door.
Kalani David.
Man, this guy's got some future.
I think he's going the whole way to the final.
Are you getting on my horse?
I'm jumping on that puppy.
Here we go, Surfer in Blue Skip on the quick turnaround. Another backdoor barrel, still surfing, and doggy doors it again.
Yes, there we go.
Anyone who wins today is going to be an amazing company.
And look at that patience before that double pump.
Look at that.
And drive on that backdoor piece of gold.
Oh, yeah. Perfect timing.
Look at the little chops navigating up, and he just did the dance.
Great surfing.
And with that, we now look forward to the quarterfinals when we return to the Red Bull Signature Series here on the North Shore.
Oh, I got it. Look, Dad. I'm good. And I get my leftover plate.
You know, we've brought kids around for a long time, ever since the kids are young. They're used to being around all the little ones, so it's always a joy. To loosen up the nerves, to get the tension out. It's a little side distraction, in a good way, I think.
That is a great tactic. Use the children to help get these surfers in the zone, to keep them relaxed. I like that. The Moniz family knows what's up. 2018, Josh Moniz, who is in the water right now and in the lead, was your 2018 Volcom Pipe Pro champion. They put his name on an illustrious list of only 5 surfers on the planet. Soli Bailey still in this contest as well. Kelly Slater, John Florence, Jamie O'Brien, no chance of winning this year. So it's up to Joshua Moniz or Soli Bailey to continue the roll. The stats have told me one thing. It's firing. This heat is a little bit different. Pipeline has the tendency to just take a breath and back off for just a little bit. But Megan, with 2 surfers with no waves ridden, the other 2 surfers with just minimal scores on the board, what is going on in the minds of these competitors?
When I used to compete, if I would see like a couple of heats with a lot of waves, I would already prepare myself for a lull. As a competitor, you know that flurry of waves kind of has to stop at one point. So these guys, I'm sure, are prepared for it to be a slow heat.
Well, just like that, the more we talk about these heats being slow, that's when things start to fire up. There's a lot of karma involved. The goofy footer from Peru, Miguel Tudela. Nice little wave here.
That's a screamer, absolute screamer. It was a solid pipe set.
9 minutes, 12 seconds to go. Here's where things start to fire up. Everybody knows it's time to get moving. And Rafe Hazelwood got the memo, dragging everything he's got into that backdoor pit. That is a solid opener for Rafe Hazelwood.
This kid is really good in the barrel.
Clean exit, too. 3 minutes, 30 seconds to go.
Green and red. Green, front side Miguel. Red, Josh, back door. Miguel successful, Josh unsuccessful.
Right now, time going down. Now I'm starting to get a little bit worried, Josh Moniz. Here we go, Joshua Moniz rolling the dice. Going on what looked like a tricky wave from the get-go, so just up and down. Things are getting tougher for our reigning Volcom Pipe Pro champion. Final opportunities. Surfer in white, Tori Meister up and over. Just trying to force the issue there. The crush comes down and wow, a stunning turn of events. 2018 champion Joshua Moniz going out in the quarterfinals. We move through into quarterfinal heat number 2. This is an absolute stacker of a heat. Balaram stack, mind the pun. Aritz Aramburu, Keanu Singh, and Brody Sail.
All right, let's watch Brody tacking a backdoor nugget. Can he make the exit? He does.
It's pretty manly out there, and we got a 15-year-old that's stealing the show. My goodness. He's looking like he could be in the semifinals right there, boys.
This 15-year-old is kind of making mincemeat of the rest of the field and putting them on notice. They better step things up with 8 minutes and 50 seconds to go.
Good looking wave right here for Balaram. On the takeoff, pulls in at pipe deep. Can he make the exit? He does. Well, second section here, he's looking for another barrel. He pulls in again. Oh! Oh, wow. Almost came out of that super shallow sandbar section.
That was a valiant attempt.
Another wild heat. It was Balaram and Brody getting the win over Aritz Aramburu and Keanu Singh. They will be moving through into the semifinals.
How about Brody Sail at 15 years old, sitting on Aritz Aramburu at the end and not letting him even think about a backup? That was no joke. Stackman, the ankle is not an issue. He is making his way forward.
What a win. Quarterfinals, you're into the semifinals now. You got your family here on the beach. What a great moment. How are you feeling?
Feel great. Keep the ball rolling. Took a little more work that time. I was huffing and puffing, but finally got one that came through.
Yeah, talk to us about all that work. You took some beatings out there on that way to find that gem of an 8.5.
Yeah, I mean, I've been like, the main thing is to get the quick start, you know, with no priority at first. So that's what I was been focused on. And my quick start was getting the beating and getting that out of the way, and then finally being able to sit and wait. And I mean, there wasn't much opportunity in that heat, so it kind of worked out for the better. Like, I had priority at the right time, so I was stoked.
Semifinals coming up. What's your plan?
Same. I'm not going to change a thing. Just try and get a quick start. Just try and make the hometown proud, and I'm here.
New York, you better be proud because Balaram Stacks into the semifinals here at the Volcom Pipe Pro.
Thank you, Kaipo. Quarterfinals continue when we return to the Volcom Pipe Pro here on the Red Bull Signature Series. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Volcom Pipe Pro. Drew Tunes, you think maybe you could give me some abs, bro? Yeah, animated abs. Love those. Welcome back, friends, to the Red Bull Signature Series presented by Kia for the Volcom Pipe Pro. Thank you, Drew Tunes. We are here celebrating 10 years of the Proving Grounds. The beaches filling up because the people know that the North Shore does not disappoint. Quarterfinal 3 is in the water, and I can't believe that this isn't actually the final because this lineup is strong. Seabass, our 2017 Volcom Pipe Pro champion Soli Bailey, Jack Robinson, who's been on fire, and Skip McCullough.
Look at this, stalling in the pit, Jackie Robinson. Out he comes, getting started, just a little hung up on the top there.
And here goes Robinson at back door, stalling, pulling in.
Oh, look at this line. Oh, has he got an exit? He does.
Wow. Was there any doubt he was going to come out?
The double arm drag bottom turn, just like so in sync with the wave.
Here we go. This will be red. Sebastian Zietz from the North Shore of Kauai. He comes out.
He's got some good little cover-up time.
Nice carving, backhand slam off that lip.
This heat is winding down, and oh, who's making a move?
Seabass, back door, coming out clean. But making a charge here in the final 4 minutes to Seabass.
Look at this hot minute here, Soli Bailey.
Taking first priority advantage.
Well, not sure that pipe wave there for Bailey is going to be enough. Didn't really find a deep barrel section there. Was in view the whole time.
Didn't get it. That's a huge upset, really. I mean, a defending champ.
Jack Robinson posing with some fans as people have really come out here on finals day. But how about Sebastian just grinding?
Seabass, sometimes it gets grindy. Sometimes you got to swim upstream. Your thoughts on that heat?
Yeah, it was a grindy one. I thought the wind kind of got junk in the last heat, and then right at the very end it came good. So I was like, oh, we're going to be getting good waves. So yeah, I kind of didn't have the start I wanted to, but no one really had scores, and I had priority pretty much like the whole heat. So it's just thinking that magic one's got to come, and then at the end it was like, I don't know, 4 minutes left or something, and I blew it, went on a bad one, and then kind of went where I didn't want to go. I wanted to sit at Aints, but everyone was kind of on that, so I went over towards the sandbar and got a little left, paddled back out, and then a little right came right to me. So
congratulations on to the semifinal, Seabass.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kaipo. Earlier today, Tina got a private lesson on the importance of judging priority.
Yeah, so we now have Heather Hamilton here, who's the priority judge, and she's going to take us through basically the rules of priority and how do you establish priority at the beginning, because it can get very confusing.
Can, yes. And it's actually not meant to confuse anybody. It's meant to be simple,
but it can be misinterpreted to be confusing. So how it starts out with four-man priority is you've got 4 surfers in the water, and this is a visual aid to show the different colors, green, white, red, and blue. Whoever gets the first wave drops to the bottom of the line.
Okay.
So now there's 3 surfers sitting out there. And so this person's on the inside making their way back out. Well, now white decides to go. Now we have 2 surfers left out there. These 2 are still paddling back out. Okay, who's it gonna be? Well, red decides to go, all right, now blue has first priority. So everyone else is paddling back out, and out of these surfers, whoever gets to the line up first drops into second. So maybe red gets there first. Okay, now we've got blue and red, first and second. And then so on. Now white's out there, now green's out there. Now we've got all 4 surfers in the lineup. The initial order of priority has been established. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, now, if blue has priority, but red wants to go on a wave, can that happen, and how does that happen?
Yes, so basically, blue's got priority. Blue's sitting out there. Blue can choose any wave that blue wants. And blue's looking, and it's very clear to red, blue's not gonna go. You bet. Red can say, okay, I'll take it, and paddle and catch the wave, no problem. Red drops to the bottom of the line. Now, blue still has first, white, green.
So essentially, when the guys get out there and the first guy who catches the wave when you're establishing priority, he set priority. And then it's just taking turns throughout the event. Okay. Is there a case where priority can make a difference between, like, I guess, a win or a lose, and a high-scoring wave and a non-high-scoring wave?
Yeah, sure. And that's when you hear surfers and coaches talk about, oh, they had priority. What were they thinking? They blew it. A lot of times what's happening is, say in this specific case, blue's got priority, and a set's coming. We've got a minute left, and everyone's going, what's blue gonna do? Blue might be looking, saying, the first wave's gonna close out, I want the second one. But then blue's scared to let anybody else get a wave in case they get a higher score and beat him. So blue has to make that decision. Do I take the first wave of the set and hope I score well?
Hope it's good enough to get a high score.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or do I say, I'm gonna risk it and let one of the other surfers go and wait for what they think might be the best wave of the set?
Well, I like the idea of taking a turn on a wave instead of always having a paddle battle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how this became incorporated into all the events, saying, hey, we're here to put our surfers in the best waves and then see them do their best surfing. So let's make it a little bit more civilized. Everyone take your turn.
I like it. I like it. Taking a turn on the waves. It's a good idea.
Quarterfinal number 4, 3 Hawaiians and a Frenchman. I'm going with white. I'm going to stick with Kalani David. He's going to have his work cut out for him with Cody Young, Gatien Delahaye, and Baron Mamiya. Who knows what he's going to do? Look at this thing.
Green, Cody Young in the barrel, pumping through at backdoor, coming out.
That's the dream, to backdoor the peak like that. If you can position yourself where you're basically already up and just standing there to enjoy the view of the pipe peak coming over, that's all time.
Yeah, that was not an easy exit, especially on that high line.
Kalani David looking here, backdoor, late drop, makes it.
Whoa, under the lip. And look at this, just the straight up into the closeout. That feels good sometimes.
Just reckless abandon. It's like, yeah, I was late on that drop, but watch this.
All right, let's watch Baron. This will be his second wave of the heat. Stalling, backdoor barrel, surfing through, surfing out.
Oh my gosh, that wave was perfect.
Kalani David taking a look. This will be his 4th wave. He's going to get barreled. He's going to come out of this one.
Looks absolutely perfect out there, boys.
Here goes Baron Mamiya, late drop, right into it, down the line speed. He's in the barrel, coming out.
Wow. That could be a Yeti cooler.
I just love that drop. That was so critical. Fully disengaged from the wave face, caught the rail at the bottom, just backed himself. Didn't ever even look like he wasn't going to make it, and just threaded a beautiful line through that. I just realised something. With Sully being eliminated, means we're going to have a new Pipe Pro champ this year. It's a small list.
So with priority, Baron Mamiya in the lead. He's just going to wait for something really weird.
And look at this. Oh, how good was that stalling? Oh, he's flying through this thing. What? You said weird, and that was extremely odd tube riding.
5 minutes, 55 seconds. Here we go. Cody Young on the attack. Back door.
Flying through this one, nice and steezy. Throws the hack on the end section and kicks out. Sitting in third, needing a 2.13. Bag it.
Kalani David's like, oh, okay, it's going to be like that. Consistently here in the quarterfinals has been someone running away with the lead and then a fight for second place. And this is a fight.
Big time. And I'm looking forward to seeing how Kalani responds to this, because now it's on him.
Oh, Baron Mamiya.
Oh, deep. Oh, no. What's going to happen?
Is that going to be an interference call?
It's got to be.
Oh.
I mean, Baron's going and Kalani's in front of him.
Kalani did not have the first priority. Baron Mamiya had the first priority. The situation will be, if that wave was unmakeable for Baron Mamiya, then Kalani David will be in the clear. But if Kalani affected that wave for Baron, then it would be interference.
So, Kalani David now finds himself comboed, and with a minute left, that is a wrap for his 2019 campaign. Congratulations to Baron Mamiya and Cody Young. Kalani David, that's not the way he wanted things to end. And I know that's not the way that Baron Mamiya wanted it to end for Kalani either. Man, these semis are going to be nuts
When we return to the Red Bull Signature Series here on the North Shore.
Wave coming in. Go, 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 go.
Welcome back to the Red Bull Signature Series presented by Kia for the 10th edition of the Volcom Pipe Pro right here on the North Shore of Oahu, Hawaii. Surfers are in the water, so we're going to check in with Chris Cote.
We move through into the semifinals. This is heat number 1. A lot on the line here. 30 minutes on the clock. Reef Hazelwood, Miguel Tudela, Balaram Stack, and Brody Sail. Some of the biggest waves of the day came through right from the get-go in this heat. We're going to start it off with Miguel Tudela. This guy is no stranger to massive waves.
He absolutely loves it. We were watching this behind the screen before, me and Coco, and we were both grabbing each other going, oh my God, it's getting bigger. This thing had so much froth and bubble in it. I'm not sure how his rail and his fins even connected with the wave face there, but coming out of that thing, Cokes.
Wow, that was huge.
And this was right behind that one. Reef Hazelwood, just frothy bombs to start us off. There's a young Brody Sail, 15 years old. His 16th birthday is right around the corner. He was tapped early by the one and only Shane Dorian as a surfer to watch. So Shane grabbed him as a 12-year-old kid and said, all right, let's form you into a pro surfer.
Brody Sail hunting this one down. There he goes.
Oh, I thought Brody was finding the exit point there at the backdoor section. He does not.
Reef Hazelwood making a charge, getting a pipe barrel, and Reef sneaking in Pipeline and not going to let him out.
Yeah, that end section got a little too small, didn't offer the exit point, but Hazelwood's still our heat leader. Broken board, caddy for Hazelwood. There's some fiberglass shrapnel out there in the lineup still.
Busted stick!
Breaking boards during a competition at Pipeline is a very real thing. In fact, we've seen up to 10 boards break a day. Now, obviously, when that happens, the guy needs to come in and get a new board. And there's two ways of doing that. On days that are very big and almost life-threatening, they're allowed to take a jet ski assist in, or they have to swim. Now, on the beach, there's either a coach or a caddy that will bring them their new equipment. In fact, surfers bring multiple boards on competition day to the beach. So once the guy gets a new board, he's got to paddle back out. The problem is, this takes a lot of energy, it takes time, the guy could miss that critical high-scoring wave, and then once they get back out there, they've got to get back into that competitive mindset, which can be extra difficult, especially surfing a wave like Pipeline.
Sad times for that surfboard. A good board is priceless, and when you break one, especially mid-heat, it can be a tough thing to climb back from. A set coming through. Who is going to pull the pin? It's going to be Miguel Tudela. On his backhand, dragging everything he has, trying to find the pocket, cannot. He wears that wave on his shoulders.
Man, he left the door wide open.
Here we go. Ball stack at pipe. Brody at back door.
Will Brody break through this thing? Unfortunately not. What happened on the left-hander?
Balaram is out. Balaram still going.
Oh, there we have it. That was nice in and out.
Balaram Stack only needs a 2.9. This is why we love these heats, because it always comes down to the last minute.
Here we go, Brody Sail. He's in third priority. Snuck this one way down the bottom there.
Well, a little quickie for Brody Sail. Needs a 2.38. Now we have to wait for two scores, Balaram and Brody. And the score comes through for Balaram Stack, a 4.6. He jumps up into second place. Hands go up. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our first two finalists, Reef Hazelwood and Balaram Stack.
Reef, you've made the final of the Volcom Pipe Pro. How are you feeling?
Yeah, pretty stoked. You know, I don't think it's really sunk in. Like, coming here, you know, I just wanted to surf pipe. And, you know, now I'm in the final and have a chance to take it out. And, you know, the waves are awesome, so it's going to be good.
Broke your board. You got a backup here. How are you feeling about the backup?
Yeah, pretty good. I've got another one in the car too, so yeah, I'll go get that one and get it set up, and then, yeah, hopefully go take down some bombs again.
Lastly, what's it going to take to win?
You know, this heat's pretty gnarly, and whoever makes it through is really going to be a top contender. So, yeah, it's going to really kind of take all my best, and I feel like I haven't really shown that yet, so I'm stoked.
Real quick, are you going to surf the final on that board?
I might change it to a bigger board. So, yeah, this one's a 6.0, so I might go to a maybe 6.5 or something. So.
All right, we'll let you get ready for the final. Reef Hazelwood.
Wow, Reef Hazelwood, the Cam Richards of 2019. Semifinals, heat number 2. We're talking an all-star pipeline superheat. Jack Robinson, Sebastian Zietz, Baron Mamiya, and Cody Young.
Wow, yeah, this kid, every time you put him in a jersey or free surf out here at Pipeline, magic happens.
Jack Robinson starts this heat in the first minute with an 8-point ride.
Yeah, that was just beautiful surfing. He took off really deep there. I'm going to love this angle. This is where the judges are watching. He went up and over that foam ball. His ball would have been slipping and sliding all over the joint. Flies out of that one, and I tell you what, that's got to feel good.
Jack Robinson in the barrel, coming out of the barrel, picking up a backup score underneath the priority.
And there we go again.
He's doing it again.
All right, let's watch red. Jack Robinson pulls in and comes out clean. Big frothy wave there, but he finds the barrel and the exit.
Really?
Yeah.
There's other people in this heat, right? Is this the Jack Robinson Super Show? Because he is making this look far too easy.
Here we go, surfer in green, Cody Young on this first wave, backdoor barrel. He's surfing through and coming out. Beautiful, excellent wave there for Cody Young.
Oh, that was a frothy one. Pulled in deep, behind the curtain. Totally gone from our vantage point.
A 7.5 for Cody Young. He is now in second place. All eyes now on Baron Mamiya.
Baron dropping in late, getting stuffed in the pit and coming out.
There was a slingshot on Baron Mamiya to get out of that wave.
Wow. Is that a 10?
That's a 10 easy.
That's got to be a 10. I gave up on him.
And it comes through the perfect 10. All 5 judges, unanimous decision. Baron Mamiya with the perfect 10.
Look at him get under this lip. He free fell. Usually when you free fall like that, you come out and you've got no speed. But I tell you what, don't ever count this kid out.
Jack Robinson trying to take the spotlight back from Baron Mamiya. Is he coming out? Of course he is. This is Jack Robinson we're talking about.
Great drop there. He sees this thing starting to stretch, so he's really starting to pump. Puts the brakes on there, knows he's coming out. Wanting to get another little barrel here, little bonus section. I just can't believe how much of a good surfer this guy is.
All right, here we go. Baron looking for a backup score, pulls in at pipe, and he comes through.
Well, there you go. He's just dropped that 1.8, and he fell straight from top to bottom, and those skegs held on so good, he was able to point a line to get out of that barrel.
Jack Robinson, his last wave came through an 8.43, improves on his opening ride of an 8. Look at that heat total, 16.43. That is one of the highest heat totals of this entire event. And Jack Robinson, AKA Robbo, got to play defense now.
Here we go, Baron on the quick turnaround, another pipe barrel on the inside. Hello.
Yeah, Baron just chipping away under priority. Grabs 2 pipe waves in a row.
In 5,
2 phenoms
4,
bust their way
3,
into the final in the form
2,
of Jack Robinson
1.
and Baron Mamiya. That was a hell of a heat.
Our finals are set. Balaram Stack from the New York City portion of the USA. Baron Mamiya from Hawaii, Reef Hazelwood, and Jack Robinson of Australia. Who is going to take home the coveted Warriors helmet? A new champion is going to be crowned when we return to the Red Bull Signature Series.
Don't believe all the hype. You never know who's gonna win at Pipe.
Welcome back to the Red Bull Signature Series presented by Kia for the Volcom Pipe Pro. The excitement on the beach is growing as the final heat is in the water, and at the end of today, we're gonna have 6 Volcom Pipe Pro champions in the last 10 years, as one more surfer will add his name to this elite roster. Our lineup in the water: Reef Hazelwood, the 19-year-old from Caloundra, Australia. Balaram Stack, 27 years old, hailing from the concrete jungle, New York City. And Jack Robinson, the Wonder Kid, 21 years old, from Margaret River, Australia, as well as the local boy, Baron Mamiya, 19, from right here on the North Shore.
I talked to the head judge just a minute ago. He is just as fired up as any of us. Those guys upstairs want to throw out those 10s because that means everybody's getting a good show. So expect big numbers coming through in this final.
In the 10 years of this Volcom Pipe Pro, there have been 5 different winners. We are guaranteed a 6th new winner. Jack Robinson.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Now that's a good way to start.
Wow, how close was that, Rocky? 3 guys, shoulder to shoulder.
That is boiling water right there.
The fact that he had to go old school and battle for that wave without priority, he had to do 2 battles. One battle to get the wave, the second battle to get out of that barrel.
Rabo, your first wave, a 7.0. You go to first.
You talked about the judges and what kind of scale that they were going to set, Chris Cote. You can see that they took their time with that score, the 7. Not going too high, also not cheapening that wave, but definitely leaving room for more.
We've been calling it all day long. It's going to take 9s and 10s to win this final.
The man from the East Coast, Balaram Stack.
Here goes the Long Island stealth bomber, Balaram, in the barrel coming out. Looking for more. On the inside, there he goes.
Is he going to get a double banger? Yes, he is.
Woo-hoo-hoo!
I love that casual little kick turn to set up the second one. Look at that pipeline shimmer.
That could be 1975, that could be 1981. That is a timeless approach right there. That's a poster on your wall, screenshot, boom.
Here we go, paddling. This is green. Barreling Baron Mamiya. Is he gonna come out? Karen's Barbarians, brah. Uh-oh. Here we go, more waves pouring in. Who's in position? It is red. Reef friendly, all good Hazelwood coming out with the spit.
Wow. Talk about combination of maneuvers. Look at this pipeline dream for Reef Hazelwood. Nice and deep. And of course he tries to kite fly a frontside air where he almost nose picked into a make at the end.
Here we go, surfer in white, Jack Robinson. Back door, riding through, closing down, and comes out. Yes! Bravo!
Great job getting out of the barrel as soon as that off-the-wall section was clamping down.
Ho, ho, ho. This is becoming a classic, you guys. These scores now, they're starting to amplify. You know, everyone in the water is feeling that energy, getting testy. Reef Hazelwood's dropping 8s, and guess what? Reef is now in the lead.
He's in the lead for a second as we wait for that backup score from Baron Mamiya and Jack Robinson.
Last wave, Baron Mamiya, a 7.5. Baron goes to first.
But wait, there's more.
Jack Robinson, 7.87. Ramo goes back to first.
It has been an incredible 4 days here at Pipeline after a long 5-day waiting period to get this thing started. Doesn't look like anything's coming with 10 seconds to go.
Baron Mamiya is not taking no for an answer.
He needs a 7.38 if he wants to squeak out a win here. I don't believe that that's going to be the score. We'll wait for it officially, but all indications are that Jack Robinson is the 2019 Volcom Pipe Pro champ.
That's fate. That was fate.
And incredible performances by all 4 surfers in this final as we wait for this official announcement. Could you imagine Jack right now? Just going.
This is something he's been fighting for his whole life. Born and bred at the box in Western Australia in heavy right-hand barrels. This was destiny for Jack Robinson.
It is official. With that 5.17, it's not enough for Baron Mamiya, and Jack Robinson is your 2019 Volcom Pipe Pro champion. And Chris Cote, like you said, the pride of Western Australia, forged at the box. This is a statement win for a kid who was celebrated as a child prodigy, and many chose to write off and think he doesn't have what it takes to go all the way. Jack Robinson making the statement. This could be the year. This could be the momentum win that gets him onto the road to the championship tour.
He's going to get chaired up the beach by, is that a former champion, Jamie O'Brien, down there as well?
This is an awesome moment because this is a kid with all the natural ability in the world. And the question was, well, yeah, he's really good. He's going to be a great free surfer forever. We can enjoy his video parts. But can he do it in a jersey? Well, there you go. Proof is in the pudding.
You could not have said that any more perfectly. We will send it down to Kaipo for the official ceremony.
Thank you so much, Sal, and the man of the hour, the 2019 Volcom Pipe Pro champ. It's been a long time coming. He's put a lot of work out here. Jack Robinson, how are you feeling just coming out of the water? You're the champ.
Oh, I'm elated. Can't believe it. It's a dream come true, you know, winning a contest at Pipeline. It's just the start, you know. It's only early days, you know. I haven't really started, you know. I'm still young, and yeah, it's just all ahead, so I'm super stoked.
Today was your day. Jack Robinson, your champ.
What a moment for young Jack Robinson as he makes sense of the fact that he is actually a Volcom Pipe Pro champion. And Pipeline, over the course of these 4 days, literally showing all faces, all conditions that these surfers had to be able to navigate at the highest level. Jack Robinson, of course, being that man who was able to figure it out as he adds his name to this illustrious and growing list of Volcom Pipe Pro champions, taking home the Warrior helmet and proving himself not just in the final, but throughout every single heat. A perfect 10, the highest heat totals of the entire event. So of course, Jack Robinson earns today's Red Bull signature moment. The Red Bull Signature Series travels from the blue Pacific shores of Hawaii to the snow-covered mountains of Vail, Colorado for what has become everyone's favorite snowboarding event of the season. This is the most progressive competition in snowboarding, as the picture-perfect halfpipe and slopestyle courses await both the best men and best women in this sport. It is truly a snowboarders and fans competition that you do not want to miss. Be sure to join us for the 37th year of the Burton U.S. Open of Snowboarding. Once again, thank you for joining us today. Be sure to follow us in any manner which you get social on behalf of our entire team, including Chris Cote, Vaughn Blakey, Dave Wassel, Kaipo Guerrero, Tina Dixon, and myself. Aloha and mahalo. We will see you next time. In surfing, this is known as the Proving Grounds, the iconic and deadly waves of the North Shore of Oahu known as the Bonsai